Hey guitar friends, this is Prokopis from String Systems, and in this lesson we will step away from the guitar for just a few minutes and talk about something that has the power to make or break your progress as a guitar player. We'll talk about developing an effective practice routine. If your time is limited and you have in the past wasted time practicing ineffectively, then I believe this is for you. We are going to talk here because in my experience teaching hundreds of private students, I find that almost everyone needs to work on some things in here before their actual practice becomes effective. These kinds of lessons on mindset and attitude are extremely valuable, so if you'd like to get the complete series, you can get it for free using the link below. Now, if you're still here, let's get into today's lesson. Playing a musical instrument is an art. But one thing many people don't understand is that practicing is also an art. Sometimes we get fixated on the end result that we miss that. Think about it. For most of us, practicing guitar is a much bigger part of our guitar life than actually performing. It's that time where you want to relax, enjoy, and you want to feel that you are making progress and not wasting time. But if you try to follow someone else's practice routine, you'll probably get some good results for a few days, but then you'll get stuck if you don't know how to adapt and personalize. I mean, there's plenty of great material out there on how to play, but as an educator, I'm telling you that learning how to practice is much more important. And the good news is that knowing how to practice effectively takes care of the how to play part automatically. My passion is to help my students learn how to enjoy practicing and get maximum results. That's why I always repeat my motto: enjoy your practice and be effective. In order to get maximum results in minimum time, we first need to make sure that we're having fun and that we're enjoying the process. Many miss this and think like no pain, no gain. There is a place for pushing in some cases, but only for a short time, because if you're just disciplined but miserable when you practice, you won't last very long, and you defeat the purpose of why you chose to play in the first place. You play because it makes you happy, right? In addition to this, our brain is much more receptive when we're having fun and slows down under stress. That's why you remember everything from a 2-hour movie you just watched, but totally forget a boring 2-hour lecture. That's also why a kid becomes a virtuoso at playing a video game but doesn't do well in school. Video games actually do require complex skills, but the fun factor helps a person master these skills very quickly. Well, guitar education needs to take advantage of this. Effective teaching methods and effective practice attitudes need to reconsider the fun factor. So choose your lessons and methods wisely. Now, at some points in this video, I'm going to refer to some of my subscription courses as examples because I'm making this lesson as part of the Practice Partner Orientation series, and also because I believe they're really good. But if you're watching this on social media or something, you can replace that with whatever practice tools you enjoy to use. These are just examples, but the principles are the same, and these principles will help you develop a fun and effective guitar life and avoid frustration. Consistency is extremely important for any type of learning. You can't just change up what you practice every day and expect results. Many studies in the area of neuroscience indicate that you need at least 3 weeks of consistent, effective routine practice before you really internalize something. Even more than 3 weeks if your personal life causes you to take days off. This brings up a very important tip. It's better to keep your practice routines short and frequent instead of huge and infrequent. That's why you should choose things that will help you get some immediate, tangible result, even if you just have 15 minutes a day to spare. It's better to take every chance you have and play 15 minutes a day than to practice 5 hours just once a week. Frequency is far more important than the amount of time you spend. So, consistency is important, we know this. But some players go to the other extreme and stay stuck on the same subject for months and months. They never take breaks and they think that their world will crumble if they skip practicing that same exercise they've been repeating since the 1990s, And if you're going through a book or a guitar course, even one of my courses, listen, you don't have to finish it just because you started it. Usually it's actually much more effective to work on a subject for a few weeks and then switch. Rebooting your practice routine at the right time can do wonders for your progress. You will feel refreshed and your mind becomes very receptive when exposed to new things. For example, if you're a subscriber, you have a bunch of courses you can try. You should go ahead and explore. Some of these courses are really deep and could take a long time, and you may not be ready for the whole thing just yet. So don't feel you have to finish, let's say, SFS pentatonics before you try out other courses. You can take a break after a few weeks and switch to something else, and then you can return to that previous guitar course a bit later. This way you'll feel refreshed yet again and pick up where you left off, just more effective and excited because that reboot allowed you to avoid burnout. So, knowing this, let's push the reset button and start building a practice routine from scratch. Today, in this first step, my recommendation is to begin with SFS pentatonics. Again, if you're not a string practice partner, you can adapt these instructions to whatever method you have for pentatonics and blues scales. For most players, pentatonics is the most appropriate place to start. Go watch lesson 1 and spend as much time as you can practicing everything we cover in that one lesson. Don't try to run through 5 lessons in one day. That's not effective. Relax and try to absorb what you learn. You may even end up spending a week on a single lesson if you sense that you are enjoying it and making progress. That's fine. Don't count your progress by how many lessons you go through. Count it by how much you're enjoying your practice time and gaining new skills. Of course, you can look around other lessons and explore, but for actual practice, I recommend that you stick to a single lesson for today. Tomorrow, we will add a couple of extremely important parts to this practice routine. And during this series, I will give you new tips every day, and hopefully you'll be able to take control of your practice life, make the right decisions, enjoy your practice, and be effective. See you tomorrow.